But it's a really exciting day because I ordered 1,000 copies of Mindset Go. I only have one copy left after Saturday's market. And perfect timing. I was getting kind of anxious that they wouldn't come and I wouldn't have in time and I wouldn't have books for next weekend. But they're here. Woohoo! So I'm gonna open up those boxes, show you what's inside, do a little bit of a reveal because I ordered these books from China. I've just started ordering from overseas, and I have a lot of people, a lot of other authors that are curious about it and wondering what the process is like and wondering how they turn out because there's a lot of people who are nervous about their books not coming and not being good quality. So I'm going to start sharing whenever I get books from any printer, I'm going to start sharing the books and do a little book reveal and show you what they look like and how they turned out so that you know for yourself. And I'll do like pros and cons of the printers that I get them from. So stick around and I'm going to show that off in a bit.
Okay, so I should probably find a really good setup and make sure the lighting's right and do all those things you're supposed to do when you're taking a reel. But I just really want to see what's in these boxes and how they turned out. So I'm going to film this right now in the corner of my kitchen. This is literally the door I just carried this box in through. So yeah, let me get into it. I'm going to have to find scissors, I think. So I'll be right back. One of 6. So you're going to get a little glimpse, but I will do a whole, I'll do a blog post with a review that talks about, a number of books that were damaged or misprinted or at some point, right now I go through every single book when it comes in to look for errors. At some point I'm going to have to stop that, I realize, because as I'm ordering more books, I was printing in quantities of 250 to 500, but the more books you have, it's going to be a task to go through them all. So at some point I'm just going to have to, understand that there's going to be a percentage that have problems, but right now the new printer, I probably will go through all of them. I have printed from these guys once before, but a smaller order. So I like that there's packaging. When I order print on demand from Amazon, they very rarely have any packaging, and books are just sliding around. So the packing looks nice. I'll give you a little so it has this foam packaging, and then it's wrapped in plastic, and it has the foam packaging around the outside too to stop the books from sliding around too much. Whereas a lot, it is still gappy, but I think they look like they're fine. And what I found is when I've gotten them from Amazon, they have none of that, or they have the teeniest little single strip of packaging, and the books are just flopping around. So this is good to see, especially because they've come on quite a journey. So this book, I sold out of this last Christmas too. I published this last December. Oh, was it December? I think it was close. It might have been before December, but it was coming up on Christmas time. I got this book published and I ordered a bunch of copies and I sold out. I usually send out copies to my team, and I do that first. But I had I think as soon as they came in, I had a market and I sold so many. I was okay, guys, I'm so sorry, but you're gonna have to wait for your copies, and because I had to reorder. So that was pretty exciting, and it's pretty much happened again this year because I have one book left. Now I did know that I needed more copies coming into Christmas. I thought I'll probably sell out of these. But yeah, these new books have just come in time because I have one left from last market, which is insane. It's amazing. It's a good problem to have. So let's have a look. I love that this printer, the pages are so shiny. The colors turn out so bright. I noticed that with the other book too that I ordered from them. Look at those nice bright colors. Whereas when I order print on demand, they're matte pages on the inside. And they're just not there, or even if they are glossy, they're not nearly as glossy. The pages feel flimsier. These are nice and thick, and the colors are not as vibrant. So love this so far. I'll have to do a comparison between these and I don't have any of the book though, but I do have my other one that I printed at the same printer. It looks really, really good. Guys, it looks gorgeous. I don't see any problems with this book. So, and I love how this page turned out.
this is a new edition. I added this page on with the books, all the books in my series and my other series, and the colors look really, really nice. So, yes, awesome. That's what I like to see, because you never know for sure what's gonna come out. Oh, wow. Okay, so I'm gonna go through this, and I do want to say, last time I ordered books from them, I think I had a few that had a very common printing issue, which is one of the most common printing errors I find is sometimes the borders end up with a white line around them. So you see how the color goes right to the edge. That's called bleed. And sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you get a white line. It would look like this. This is just because of the way the page is folded, but it would look like a white line along the edge of the pages. I had a few that had that, but not very many. The biggest problem I had last time was that some of the books got damaged in shipping, which happens. The box looked a little bit beat up, but they were really nicely packed. They were packed really tight. But I think like at the bottom, they were almost packed too tightly. So when the person put books on top, it slid some of the ones on the bottom and folded them. So they were a little bit damaged. But I contacted the printer and I told him about them. And he gave me the option of getting getting refunded for it or getting replacement books. And I said, I'm going to order some more books from you guys because I'm really happy with how these are. And I got another book that I need to do another print run on. So he ended up just replacing it by printing extras of this. So I think in total I had ordered 100 books because I wanted to see how they turn out before I did a big order. And I think I had like 15 that either had those print errors or were folded. So, but they've replaced them in here. As long as they have sent them. I mean, I'll have to count them to see if they put the extra 14 in. But they do have numbers on the side, so I can do the math. But yeah, so I'll let you know. I'll do like a blog post or a review or something, getting a good system of doing these, and then I'll let you know overall how I like this printer, and so you know if you want to order from them too. Because one of the trickiest things is knowing who's going to be good and what good prices are and where to print. And, printing overseas is kind of scary. You have to wait longer for your books, to print in bigger quantities. So it can be nerve-wracking. But if you're ready to make the leap, hopefully I can be a good guide. Bye. Hey y'all, I'm just doing some quality control checks on my new books. These books were purchased and printed in China and shipped to Ontario, Canada. I'm still very new. This is only the second batch of books I've gotten from this printer in China. The other ones I've gotten either printed locally or print on demand. So I am still going through all of the books to make sure they're all good. As I build up trust with this printer, eventually I will just start doing spot checks because as you order larger quantities, it becomes harder to check every book. But I'm going to show you what I look for. So here's my book. So first of all, I do a quick scan on the front and back cover. And I look for anything that looks off, like if there's marks on the cover, if it's dirty, if it's wrinkled, if it has ink spots, if it's got a misprint, if it's crooked, anything like that that looks off, I look for. And then I do a scan through the inside. So what I'm looking for on the inside is often there will be a white border around the outsides if they haven't printed it right and cut it right. Missing images that's been overcropped. Sometimes the center of the page is split open, so there's a white line in the middle. Any like color variations or lines in the printings to show the print's not good quality. Out of order pages. So I've had printed books, especially from Amazon, print on demand, where the book's been printed like starts in the middle and then you have the beginning and the end and it's just out of order. It's been stapled out of order. Or I've even had ones where there's another book in the middle of my book, or been double printed. So it's got like the book twice. So I watch for any of those. So this one looks great. And so far this box looks really good. The only thing I've noticed so far in this box is at the bottom of some of these pages, and it's so minuscule. I don't know if I will even be able to show you. Let me see if I can find one that's a little bit easier to see. Yeah, it's really hard to see. But if you look really closely at the bottom of some of these pages, it looks like almost like a little wrinkle or like a little white line down there. It's not like a border, it's just like a mark from printing. I'm not sure what would cause that, maybe the way they cut it. And there's a handful of books that I've put aside with that issue, but it is so small. Some of the printers I've worked with before have a expected or a acceptable margin of error, where if it's smaller than a certain size, they won't refund for it. So I'm not sure if those would qualify for a refund or for a replacement, but we'll see what else it comes up with, because if I do have a bunch of books with more of a prominent issue, then I might as well mention those as well and see what happens. But those ones, like, I wouldn't notice it if I wasn't looking for problems. So I'm not concerned about them. So far, everything's looking great. So I'll report back if I see anything, if I have any other errors to show you. I will do a quick video of them and let you know how it goes. And when I'm done going through these books, I'm going to post a review on my website so that you can see an honest review of this company, what it's been like to print with, and their information if you're interested in printing with them yourself. Hey, so I finally sorted through and did quality control on all of the books that I ordered. I ordered 1,000 copies, and out of the 1,000 copies, there's 55 that have issues, so that's about a 5% margin of error. I feel like I'm going to show you the issues. Some of them are very minor. So I'd love to hear what you think about them, whether I'm being too picky, because I think sometimes as authors we are our biggest critic and the pickiest person with our books. Like, I've received plenty of books that I've ordered that have had a ding or a bend or a whatever, and not thought twice about it because I'm checking them to my kids anyways. So I'll show you them, and then I will be I'll be taking pictures of all of them and reaching out to the printer to see if I can get a refund or replacement for these books. So there's a couple different issues that I have with them. This one looks like it has a little teeny bit of laminate lifting off, which is very minor, but it is there and visible. I swear one of these books had a line on one of the pages, which is the only one that has it. So I thought that was kind of cool to show you, but I don't see it. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's this one. I set it aside because it was like a different, oh yeah, there you go. So this one has a little, I don't know if it's a mark or a misprint or what, but it's like a line across it. If the spots are if there's like a really small blemish, I don't know, I haven't talked to this printer about it, but I have had some printers say that if it's smaller than a certain size, then they won't, it's like a reasonable margin of error or something. So, but that one is bigger than what I've been told in the past. So I think I should get a refund on that. And then I will bring the bigger stacks. So this is by far the biggest stack of books that have errors. Again, I'm not sure if they'll give me a refund or not. And if it was just a couple of books with this issue, I probably wouldn't even worry about it. But because there's so many, what's happened with these books is likely when they were cutting the bottom, there's probably the machine wasn't sharp enough or something. Let's see. So there's a little bit of a tear along the bottom edge of these books. And it's not like anything's missing, but you can see it. Like, it's just roughly cut. So, and there's quite a few books that have that issue. Like I said, there's a big stack. So I haven't counted exactly how many have that issue, which I will have to do for the printer. But that's the biggest issue by far. Otherwise, it would probably be probably closer to 1%, anyways, 1 or 2% of books with errors, if I didn't count those in. So I'd love your thoughts on that. Am I being too picky with those? Like, if you bought this book and you saw this at the bottom of your book, now I can't even find it. You saw this at the bottom of your book, would you think twice? Like, would you notice that at all? Or would that just be something that's like super common and not even a surprise? And then we have, now, this is not a printing error. These books are all printed beautifully, but when they packed them in the box, they probably packed a big stack like this and just shoved them in, and some of them have got the corners folded. So there's one that's got, yeah, this is probably the worst one, the one with the worst damage. So you can see that all the corners are really like wrinkled and folded, and that really doesn't look nice. Now, if it was shipping damage, I don't believe they would cover it or replace it, but they have replaced packing ones that have had packing damage for me in the past. So I believe they should replace these for me. So that'll be fine. The nice thing about them too is I did send in a couple extra books. So I think they were supposed to replace 14 from the last batch that I printed. And I said they could just replace them with copies of this book. They could have refunded the money too. But so they were going to send me an extra 14 books. I think they sent me an extra 20 books. So there is an extra 6 books in here. So I mean, there's 6 that have already kind of been pre-replaced. Yeah, so that's these books. All have that fold of some sort, and some of them are pretty badly folded in the corner. So they will be donations to whoever could use a book that is just slightly damaged. This stack is kind of interesting. I almost missed this because I was looking at the inside. This is why you should always look at the cover and the back. So these ones have some sort of lamination problem here. And there's a smudge and a mark. I think it is big enough that they should refund me for it. It definitely looks ugly. Out of all the errors, this is the one I think stands out the most. That would make a customer go, oh, what's wrong with that book? Because they are ugly. Again, most people probably are going to, like, it doesn't affect the story at all, the ability to read it. So, nothing major, nothing like stapled backwards or inside out or no stories in the middle. Overall, I'm very happy with this print run. I think the margin of error could be a little bit smaller. Like I said, I can't, or I don't want to keep looking through every box forever because it's just very time consuming. So I'd rather just check it quick before I go and recognize that there's going to be a margin of error in there. But yeah, so what are your thoughts? This printer, they are a great price. I've had good experience with them in the past. This is the second print run I've done with them. So I probably will print with them again to order more of my second book, which is called Mind Trip. So I know to order more copies of that book, and I probably will go with them. I was thinking of exploring a different printer for it, but yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this one. But I'd love to hear your experience with your printer. If you have, what have you found is a common margin of error with the printer you use? If you're willing to share prices with me on your printer, and then user experience and like shipping time and all of those, I'd love to hear it. Or if you post reviews about printing, I'd love to hear those too. So send them along my way. I did ask them if they do a referral, if I referred people to them for this printer. And they said yes, but they don't have any kind of official system. So it's just kind of working with the honor system. So I haven't had anyone order yet. So we'll see if that works out. I'm not really stressed about making money off of reviewing printers. I just think it's helpful to pass it on to other people because I know a lot of people are hesitant to order from China, and especially from Alibaba because you hear horror stories. But it goes to show you that like it's not always a horror story. Like these are good quality books. They're definitely better quality than anything I've got ordered print on demand. And I think even local printers, while I love the local printers I work with and they do deliver really good quality books, I think these are nicer books overall and the price is not comparable. So If you are looking at printing overseas, and you want the contact information for this printer, reach out and I can pass it on. And good luck with your books. And again, if you like, share your experience with the printers you've used. All right. I'll when I do decide it's time to try a different printer, I will post a review and I'll share about them. Bye.